Well, there's quite a few events planned on the campus of Bluffton University, all surrounding Anabaptism at 500. And we're going to learn what that's all about and why you should go to some of these events to enjoy, because they're free. Joining us today, he's Professor of Communication at Bluffton University, Dr. Gerald Mast. And thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for inviting me.
Okay, so everyone wants to know, what is Anabaptism?
Anabaptism is the name of a religious and social movement that started in Zurich in 1525. On January 21, 1525, a small Bible study circle that was meeting in the apartment of a woman named Anabaptism decided to undergo baptism, and in that context it was rebaptism because they had been baptized into the church as infants at that time. But they came to a belief in believers' baptism. They thought that baptism should be given only to people who had decided faith should be a choice, they thought. And so that was seen as renouncing the Christian institutions and systems of their context, and was regarded as a threat to the social order. And so very quickly the authorities in Zurich forbade that kind of baptism ceremony, but it kind of spread then throughout Europe. And that movement became the origin of groups like the Mennonites, the Amish, Hutterites. Some Baptist churches trace their origins to the Anabaptist movement in the 16th century as well.
All right, so is this, I don't want to say celebration, but maybe in honor of the movement, or the events on campus, you know, tell us how we got to that point then.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that we talk about it as a commemoration, a remembering, because in many ways, you know, there were courageous people who were taking a stand for their faith convictions, but on the other hand, it represented sort of part of this larger tragic schism in Christendom that is part of the European Reformation and the disintegration of Christian unity. And so on our campus, we are remembering that moment in some ways by remembering both that moment and everything that's happened since then, including this past year, 125 years of Bluffton College and Bluffton University, which was founded by a group of Mennonites in 1899, and has had a long attachment with that tradition and is still affiliated with Mennonite Church USA.
Right, yeah, so quite a few events, and we've got more coming up. You've already started some, right? But tell us how you decided. I mean, I was talking beforehand, there's a wide variety, anything from music to sermons to theater. I mean, tell us about some of this stuff that people can enjoy.
Yeah, well, I'm the forum director at Bluffton. We have a weekly lecture series at Bluffton, and so I worked with our forum committee to think up some lecturers that we could bring, presenters that we could bring in. And then I worked with our theater director to plan the Reader's Theater. I've Not Forsaken the Word of God, which is a scripted drama from the Martyr's Mirror. The Martyr's Mirror is a collection of stories about Anabaptists engaged in discussion and writing letters from prison in the context of confronting the authorities of their society. So this is happening this coming weekend, actually, in Ramsari Auditorium at 2:30. It really comes almost directly from court records in the Martyr's Mirror of discussion about Christian doctrine from an Anabaptist perspective.
Right, yeah.
So there are students and faculty putting that on.
See, that's neat. So that's like this weekend, but as I said, there's a website where you can find all the information, because there's, you know, there's lectures, there's sermons, there's, you know, choral concerts. So kind of neat things that we can all learn about the background of this and the history, and enjoy what Bluffton has to offer. Yeah.
Well, and one of the things I want to point out is that one of our guest speakers is John Roth. He will be coming on March 9th to celebrate the release of this book called the Anabaptist Community Bible, which I was involved in an advisory group with this, and some Bluffton students contributed notes to this Bible.
Well, so that's nice.
So this is something to look forward to, the release of this study Bible. And then Roth is also speaking on March 18th in Forum at 11 a.m. Those are just two events that I'd like to highlight.
All right. There's plenty more. Check out the website. Thanks for coming today.
Sure.
All right, don't go away. We'll look at the weather forecast next.